What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and we've been here before. I believe it was the Orange Man that said TikTok is an app that the United States should really consider banning for a lot of reasons, including things like how it's used to spy on Americans, allegedly, and how, well, it's a Chinese-run app, and it's got access to basically everything on your phone. For me, TikTok is an app that is collectively making the youth of this country stupid, and enforcing or reinforcing some of the worst, most brain-dead behavior on the planet. But I suppose that's kind of a boomer take. But the FCC commissioner has now said the government should ban TikTok, and we have bipartisan support. It's actually nuts, and we're going to get into that after a really quick word from this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs, and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's operations center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. You don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. So I noticed today you see TikTok, FCC commissioner says government should ban TikTok, and the market's reacting. Let's go back to a Democrat. One of the Democratic Party's leaders, Senator Mark Wagner of Virginia, who is the head of the United States Senate Intelligence Committee, has said that former President Donald Trump was right when it came to security risks around the Chinese-owned TikTok. Quote, "This is not something you would normally hear me say, but Donald Trump was right on TikTok years ago," said Warner during a visit to Australia, reported the Sydney Morning Herald on October 25th. If your country uses Huawei, I'm not sure Huawei, I don't pronounce it. If your kids are on TikTok, if your population uses WeChat as a social media platform, the ability for China to have undue influence is, I think, much greater challenge than a much more immediate threat of any kind of actual armed conflict. Warner, who is currently in Australia to engage with local intelligence chiefs, politicians, and business people, also warned about the technological domination the Chinese regime is exerting over other countries and called it scary. China having this kind of technology domination in a number of countries ought to scare the heck out of us, because we've seen this kind of Orwellian surveillance state that they've already created in China. And Australia is also concerned about TikTok. The United States is not the only country concerned about TikTok. Australia's Home Affairs Minister, Claire O'Neill, has ordered cybersecurity authorities to investigate social media giants' data collection security. O'Neill, who is the cybersecurity minister, has called on Australians who use TikTok to be cautious of the app's data collection. Quote, "I'd say to Australians, if you're using TikTok, think about what data of yours might be being collected, and know that we're not always 100% confident on how that data is even being used," O'Neill said on Australian Broadcasting Corp. "We need to take precautions in this digital age." What an incredible timing. What incredible timing for Elon Musk to be bringing back Vine, isn't it? What incredible timing. Snapchat and Meta shares pop after FCC commissioner says the United States should ban TikTok. Shares of the social media giant Snapchat and Meta spiked on the news that Federal Communications Commissioner said the United States government should ban TikTok. Quote, "I don't believe there is a path forward for anything other than a ban," Think about that. I do not believe there is a path forward for anything other than a ban. Republican Commissioner Brendan Carr told Axios in an interview, Snap shares were up 6%, Meta shares were up 4% Tuesday. The comments from Carr, one of 4 current commissioners at the Democrat-led agency, do not necessarily signal anything pending against TikTok. The Committee on Foreign Investigation in the United States in the Treasury Department is reviewing the company's potential national security implications, given its ownership by a Chinese company, ByteDance, and the Justice Department is leading negotiations over a security deal, the New York Times reported. Well, we all know that our government will happily sell us out for money. So the question really becomes, would they pull off the ban? We already did this back when Trump was around, and we had him have a United States headquarters or something of that nature as some sort of weird end around to protect our data, but then only to find out days later that they had all sorts of backdoors into our data anyway, and that China had full access to everything we had anyway. If we go back to October, if we go back to here, these are all Trump was right. Oh, these are weird headlines, huh? This article here, so here's the actual interview. FCC Commissioner says government should ban TikTok. Why it matters. The Council on Foreign Investment should take action to ban TikTok. Brendan Carr, one of 5 commissioners at the FCC, told Axios in an interview. Why does it matter? It's the strongest language Carr has used to date to urge action on TikTok. With more than 200 million downloads in the United States alone, the popular app is becoming a form of critical information infrastructure, making the app's ownership by a Chinese parent company a target of growing national security concern. The FCC, quote, the FCC has no authority to regulate TikTok directly, but Congress previously has acted after Carr voiced concerns about the Chinese telecom companies, including Huawei. TikTok is currently in negotiations with CFIUS, an interagency committee that conducts national security reviews of foreign company deals, to determine whether it can be divested by Chinese parent company ByteDance to an American company to remain operational in the United States. See, this is not enough, though, because we've done this before. We've had this conversation. We've done this multiple times in the past, and every time it comes out that they still have access. Want proof? Leaked audio from 80 internal TikTok meetings show that U.S. user data has been repeatedly accessed from China, meaning this whole let's move it to the United States. Why? So they can tax it, right? So they can tax it and have some sort of government meddling in it. Now we know with the DHS leaks, probably to police quote unquote misinformation, but even though they moved it, they still had access. Quote, I feel like these tools, there's some backdoor access to our data in almost all of them, said external auditor hired to help TikTok close off Chinese access to sensitive information like Americans' birthdays and phone numbers. For years, TikTok has responded to data privacy concerns by promising that information gathered about users in the United States is stored in the United States rather than in China, where ByteDance, the video platform's parent company, is located. But according to leaked audio from more than 80 internal TikTok meetings, China-based employees of ByteDance have repeatedly accessed non-public data about United States TikTok users, exactly the type of behavior that inspired former President Donald Trump to threaten to ban the app in the United States. This is the problem when you only threaten to do it, right? TikTok adds nothing to society. It can be banned. I suppose so does Angry Birds, but Angry Birds probably doesn't represent the same kind of security threat. Like, we don't really know what they're doing with this data. The recordings, which were reviewed by BuzzFeed News, contain 14 statements from 9 different TikTok employees indicating that engineers in China have access to U.S. data between September 2021 and January 2022 at the very least. Despite a TikTok executive's sworn testimony in an October 2021 Senate hearing that a world-renowned U.S.-based security team decides who gets access to the data, 9 statements by 8 different employees describe situations where United States employees had to turn to their colleagues in China to determine how U.S. data was user data was flowing. U.S. staff did not even have permission or knowledge of how to access the data on their own, according to the tapes. Everything is seen in China, said a member of TikTok's Trust and Safety Department in a September 2021 meeting. In another September meeting, a director referred to one Beijing-based engineer as master admin who has access to everything. The recordings range from a small group of people, company owners. So this, we know it doesn't matter. They set up a place here in the United States, and they have every backdoor setup imaginable. I think that, you know, unfortunately, Joe Biden doesn't exactly have a reputation of playing tough with foreign leadership. But in this particular case, I would strongly hope that Joe Biden, I don't really know that you can just, you know, go and move it to the United States and expect that that's just going to fix everything. I don't think that it does that. I don't think that you really have a situation where I feel any safer. I mean, I'm sure you don't. Now, I'm sure that, you know, there's a whole crop of white girls stealing dance moves from black girls that are going to be really sad that they can't go on TikTok. But, you know, ultimately, there are good creators on TikTok, and not all the content on there is garbage. But, you know, I guess they can probably use Twitter's app now. They can probably use all sorts of things as alternatives. YouTube Shorts, all these kind of things. All they have to do is make sure they add some editing tools, and they can replace them. You know, normally I would say let the app exist, but also screw China. So that's my final official position. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it, and make sure you subscribe so you can actually find my videos. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again real soon.